I'm Mindy Wong, and this is my slideshow on Papua New Guinea. And this article was about Western style people and how they see Papua New Guinea's people. And sorry, I apologize. This is my seventh time recording this video, so um, here we go again. I'm talking about the traditional training of how people in the Kamatsu people trained in their schools and how they're taught. And they utilize three linguistic symbols: showing, and the American people call their learning, how they learn certain things. The Papua New Guinea people call it teach and train. So they do it a little different. And the trainee is the student, and the trainer is the teacher. And the teacher will model something, and then do something, and then the student has to model them back and practice that behavior. And finally, the last stage is um, they apply that context into the real life. And then the second linguistic symbol here, right here, advising. And this is the process a trainee develops a skill that is already acquired. And there are three basic constraints to advising. First is mutual consent, and then second is respect. The miser must respect each other, and third is context specific. And I think this one's actually a big negative, because it's saying how the people in Papua New Guinea only demonstrate things, and how we need to, it doesn't allow them to abstractly think things because they're not coming with their own new creative ways, they're just copying somebody else. And then the third linguistic symbol is telling. And certain things can't be demonstrated, like magic and ancestral stories. And so it's the student's responsibility to carefully watch and interpret the information that is being told to them. Oral instruction is not considered to be as effective as observation and imitation, but concession is made for non-demonstrable knowledge and skills. And here's their flag of Papua New Guinea, and the main points that I just wanted to go over are establishing a relationship, experimental behavior, observation, and imitation. And that's how they learn, and it's very different from our American schools in America. And then they have to apply that to real life, the real life text. Then there is it's a trainee's responsibility for their own education, so it's all up to them if they want to learn and do well in school. And then informal schooling, the second section of this article, and it talks about how in Papua New Guinea formal schooling is boring, and the Kamatsu people say school is this: they do school, they get knowledge, and that's all they know. And here's a picture of little kids at school. Look how many kids are in a classroom. There's so many. And then again, another classroom. Reason for formal schooling. The parents realize that it's an investment in the children's future to have them be able to work and provide for themselves by getting an education. There's primary school and secondary school, and they also want to be able to read like the white ones is what they call it, so us Westerners. And then they believe that if you learn, you will have a good life. And the parents also want them to be able to read the Constitution and laws so that they don't get in trouble and that they'll be more educated. And they also know that if you're an educated person, you get a lot more prestige in your village. And then they also believe this last point, which I think is the most exciting, is that if you go to school, that you'll have a more exciting, happier life. And I feel like with the Americans, it's a little opposite. Like, if you went and didn't go to school and kind of did your own thing really free will, I feel like your life could be more exciting. Then there's failure in the formal schools. One is because it's the children's responsibility to do well in school, and some kids are stubborn and don't want to listen or are being lazy. And then what can parents do? They can command their children to listen. They could teach English in the home, and they can remind children they paid a lot for their schooling. In conclusion, no desire equals laziness. This means that the children really, if you don't go to school with a good attitude and wanting to learn, then you're not going to want to do any of the things, and you're just going to sit there and not care. And the parents really should take some responsibility, because I think a lot of kids, especially at a young age, how are they going to be able to understand what's going on and why they should be doing these things? if their maturity level is not there, and there's a lack of verbal communication, and so how are they supposed to expect a great relationship between the teacher and the student if there's not much verbal communication going on? And then the Kamatsu people and the Western people learn different, and I'll explain more about that in this next slide. So right here, in the top right, is a picture of the Kamatsu people, and I just think it's crazy because if you were to try and take these people and put them into our schools today, I mean, there'd always be a big difference in the way that they learn and how we learn, just because we have a certain structure and theirs is very, someone is trained to do something, and then you're just supposed to act out what they do, and so that's a very different learning process, and I feel like that would be hard to get into. And these are just some pictures of people in Papua New Guinea and how they dress, and make sure that we accompany people as teachers, that we can be able to deal with different ethnicities, and I think that's really great that they're starting to get an education in Papua New Guinea. And there's my Works Cited page, and that's it. Thank you very much.